Mental health is something that is always important, and especially right now when we're dealing with a pandemic, when our usual outlets for stress and our coping mechanisms are kind of limited, and that includes physical activity and sports and getting together with people. So, Cleveland Browns tight end Harrison Bryant and Beyond the Game president and University of Akron football coach Devin Jordan have teamed up to do something about that for young people here in Northeast Ohio with the help of a book created by Devin. It's called The Mental Manual, and they are here to talk to me about that now. Devin, Harrison, thank you so much for being here today. Devin, great to see you again. Known you for a long time from the same hometown. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us on.
Yep, thanks for having me.
Now, Harrison, I know Devin is fine because he's from Northeast Ohio. How are you doing with your first winter here in the area?
It's been all right. Definitely a big adjustment coming from school in South Florida, but it's going good so far.
Well, we are happy to have you here. We're glad you're toughing it out with us. We got a little bit of snow out there right now, so just be careful out there. Little tip for you. Harrison, it is pretty common for professional athletes to sort of pick a particular issue that's near and dear to their heart. So I want to ask you now, what is it about mental health specifically that's important to you?
Yeah, for me personally, athletes, we're always focusing on physical health and how we can be at the top of our game. And the big thing that we forget is how important mental health is, not only in our performance, but in our everyday life. And, I really think it can make an impact with our performance and just being a happier person.
Speaking of that impact, Devin, with your organization Beyond the Game, you work a lot with what the sports world can do for people off the field. So what was the motivation for creating this book for you right now?
Well, it's a combination of a couple things. I know, I try to be as much positive as I can on social media. And for a long time, people always ask me when we're going to come out with my own book. And so I kind of put it to the side. I'm very busy with everything I got going on. And when the pandemic hit, I kind of took it upon myself to do something specifically, not only for myself, but for others. So I took some time to write this manual, kind of similar to Coach Tressel, my college football coach at Ohio State. He did something called the Winner's Manual. So it kind of impacted my life and others that, were my teammates. So I thought, how can I do something similar, but a little bit more in depth to kind of help others get through tough times that we're going through right now. So it took a little bit of time, a lot of sleepless nights to create this manual, and finally got it finished. And, I met Harrison over the summertime, and I said, hey, how are you doing mentally? How are you just holding up? Because I've seen the mental toll this year has taken on athletes. Are we playing? Are we not playing? Trying to get through the daily, grind of being a college athlete or high school athlete. And so I gave him a manual, and, he kind of jumped on board with helping us, trying to raise funds to get this manual out to as many kids as we can in Northeast Ohio.
And so that kind of answers my next question for Harrison. Is that what it was when you got that manual from Devin, when you decided to yourself you needed to be a part of this project?
Yeah, he helped me out with some training over the summer and stuff. And we started talking about Beyond the Game, and, I told him whatever I could do to help out. And then a few weeks ago, he reached out about the manual and, sent me a copy, and I was able to look over it and stuff. And I was like, wow, this is great material. And, this kind of how it took off from there, just starting to raise the funds and do whatever we can to get it out.
Well, let's get into the material just briefly about the manual. You mentioned you want to get this out to the people here in Northeast Ohio. Tell me a little bit, Devin, about what's in the mental manual.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a 365-day year manual where typically like a journal. So starting January 1, we'll give you an assignment. There's different sections in the back of the manual talking about, topics like attitude, class, discipline, enthusiasm, leadership, being a hero, being mentally tough, being a great teammate. So there's lots of different sections. Essentially, it's a huge quote and storybook. So we'll give you an assignment each day talking about, let's say, January 1. Go to attitude, read 10 quotes. What did you get from that? How can you implement that in your day to day? Essentially what it is it's a way to keep your mind positive every day. It might take 10 minutes your day, but you'd be surprised 10 minutes every day, what that can do to your mindset to shift from maybe thinking more of a negative aspect to a positive one. So I wanted to do that. And some of my athletes are using it here at the University of Akron right now. And hopefully we can get it out to as many kids here soon.
I know your initial goal right now is to try and reach 5,000 students here in the Northeast Ohio, in the Ohio area. And what you two are doing in order to help make that happen is you've got this online auction style fundraiser happening. I want to talk to you about a few of the items that I saw on there. Harrison, there's a beautiful painting of you in the end zone catching a touchdown pass. Is that from a particular game?
I'm pretty sure it's from the Cincinnati game. We went down there and had a unbelievable game, ended up winning on the last drive, and that was one of the touchdowns that I scored that day. And he sent me a picture of it, and it's a great painting, and hopefully somebody will purchase it, and it'll look good on the wall somewhere. So hopefully somebody picks it up.
It sure will. And another thing I did notice about it is it'll be personalized, right? So you'll be writing a personal message and signing that for whoever gets lucky enough to win that one.
Yep, personal message. Whatever you want on there, or anything you can think of, I can put it on there.
Great. And Devin, I noticed there's a bunch of other stuff on there. There's a painting of Myles Garrett. Is that a self-portrait? Did he paint that one?
Oh no, he didn't paint that one, but it's a beautiful portrait of Myles. And obviously with me being a former Buckeye, there's some great items, with Ezekiel Elliott, Coach Ryan Day, Urban Meyer. So we want to kind of tie in, obviously, teams in Northeast Ohio, but obviously with me being a Buckeye, had to throw some Buckeye stuff in there as well.
Of course, got to get that in there. There are, like you said, a ton of great items, some things that seem pretty rare. So, of course, those are going to have a little bit of a steeper price tag, as they should. But people can also donate, right? If there by some chance isn't something that catches their eye.
Yes, absolutely. There's a donate button at the top right corner of the website. They want to just donate to, impact the kids that we're trying to reach this with this manual. Obviously, you want to purchase something, get something for the holidays, or something cool for yourself, you can do that as well. So.
Well, it sounds like a great cause. I'm excited to see the mental manual take off and these kids here in Northeast Ohio get it. Devin, Harrison, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Stephanie.
And we have links to that auction up on WKYC.com, so you'll be able to check that out. This is Stephanie Haney for 3 News.